Hello guys, welcome. So this is should be the recording of the developer. No. This should be the recording of the full dev journey of me recreating the hamster chef from the ground up. So after the trailer went up, I basically redoing the whole thing again because the original code, the original project was a lot of mess and it's in a dire need of restructuring. If I don't make it this time, then I'm just going to use the previous project, not this one. So with that out of the way, I'm actually now using an Obsidian. Yes, it's OBS, but Obsidian to frame the whole thing inside a project planning. So I basically ask and this prompt. Hi, I'm working on Vocal Clone. So far, I have made these classes. So I type this three things: char, item, bun, and plate, and then a table. And then I follow up with this thing. The char can pick up and drop item. It also can pick up bun and plate. And I said to the ChatGPT, in my mind, I made that classes because item or food ingredients can be attached to be put to a bun to make a burger, or the bun can be a pizza as a place for the topping. So the bun is acting like a plate, and basically this whole thing is the same. Basically the item can be attached in a bun and the bun can be attached in a plate or a pan. And the third class was a table, and the table can act as a cutting board and table, and can also act basically this whole prompt, it was not as detailed like this. It's a lot simpler in ChatGPT, and this is basically the response. The response is actually from this one, cooking station. I asked ChatGPT to make it in MD format, which is Markdown format. It's 100% compatible with Obsidian. So it writes down like this. So if we type like this, it actually put a bracket, and that bracket is automatically recognized and converted as a checkbox like this inside an Obsidian. And with that, the ChatGPT generate this whole thing. And yeah, up to this, I think I did ask another thing. Let me ask my ChatGPT again. So it was not directly perfect. So first thing first, the first time it generates, it was the ChatGPT give me a simple to-do list with numbers, and then it gives me an extensive to-do list, and then I ask, can you do an .md formatting? It still gives me this, and then I just give this thing. So it's a markdown format basically. Checkbox format. It's not MD. It should be MD though, but I don't know why ChatGPT doesn't recognize this as an MD formatting, but it gets the jobs done. I will put this page and an online platform maybe for you to follow if you are interested. And it's just generate this whole thing. And basically it's perfect for me. And what I added was I added character abilities. Basically I need the characters to be can pick up items and automatically pick up this parent. Is it? So if I'm basically what I'm trying to say is, if I'm holding a bun or holding something and not basically an item, I want that item to be able to pick up item. I will show you in a minute. So if the character is holding a plate, it can pick up a bun. If the character is holding a bun, it can pick up an item, just like that. If it's not the child, so this is the parent and this is child. So if my character is holding an item and then there's a plate in front of them, it will pick up the plate, but it will drop the item actually, just like that. So like that. Maybe we need to add another thing. So pick up plate, or not, just pick up plate right, yeah. Pick up the parent and automatically drop the item in hand if the item in front of it are a lot higher than the item in hand. Example, when picking up a bun will drop the item, and picking up plate will drop the bun. It's a lot tedious switch, but it's a lot simpler to program actually. So we'll go with this, and basically let's not drop, yeah, let's put first. Let's put or drop, and so that's the plan, and I'm going to do now. Let's do a slow plan. So this is features to be worked on. Basically this is the whole page that I'm using to plan out or of what I'm going to do. I hope that by finishing these checkboxes, it will also finish the game. And let's open the game project. What I have done inside the project is basically just a third-person template with the BP person characters. I duplicated it and then rename it as BP hamster character. And that BP hamster character, I basically just modify the characters to have this mesh. This squirrel, it still has a very basic materials like this. Very basic, man. Squirrel eyes, also this, and then the squirrel body is just like that. It can be optimized, and the thing that I'm already customized it a little bit. Now it has subsurface color from the texture sample, so it slightly has its Fresnel. I actually use some kind of like Fresnel plugged into the emissive color, and then I make this spear carry location. This is what will be the position of the attached objects, and capsule handler is basically the collision, and box bumper is I created this so it wouldn't trip into dynamic objects. Let me show you an example. So we can push things very easy because it has the box bumper. Because if we can see clearly, let me just put the visibility on, hidden in-game off. The invisible box will easily push the object if we don't have that box bumper. So let's put no collision. The character can sometimes just crash into this thing and then it mess up the whole characters. You just see that the camera is just glitch. Sometimes it's like that. So it's very necessary to me to have a bumper box that penetrates the ground, actually a little bit penetrating the ground. So I do a physics actor template for the box, so it will push the physics objects out of the way, and it still perform really well with things like these dynamic objects. If we are on the edge of it, sometimes it's weird, sometimes it does that, but we're not handling any very heavy object, and I think in the future this can be simply solved by just not using any this. So yeah, that's the glitch for now, but it's totally safe, the glitches from these small objects. So because this game is very dependent on these small objects, and that's about it. Let me reload this, which is in case I made some unwanted changes. And other than all of this thing, I changed rotation speed to be a lot like rotation rate. I remember changing this to 36,000 So the character is turning really fast. This is the best. And I added spring arm on top of the mesh, the character mesh. Spring arm, and then this spring arm, I just put the target arm to 0, and then I added another mesh, actually skeletal mesh, and then this skeletal mesh will be put on top of this skeletal mesh. Compile, and the anim class should be the same. Now now it's very weird, but let's copy all the properties and paste here, so it's directly the same. And then I added a camera leg rotation. I just want the rotation. Why? Because I want everything should be snappy. If I put and I want to throw it on to the right side, I don't want any delays, so I can directly throw at that side. And then that's why I made it snappy in the mesh level, and then in the collision level everything is snappy, but I still want the characters to be shown as smoothly rotates. So that's that. So I put the camera rotation lag speed maybe to 20, and with that we can see that the original rotation was, it should be 10, sorry, maybe let's put it 7.5. so it still rotates smoothly for us to see, but it's actually very snappy when you handle it. So let's just go to this mesh, and then let's make the visibility to be, so we have a snappy control. You can see that the collision is directly rotates, instantly rotates, there's no delay, but it's look like it's just smoothly rotates. And then going into the box or the to-do list, that's give us the character completion. So I think the character is ready. As itself, we will build the functionality over here, but basically we have that. And then the second thing is the item. The item was very basic, so I made this blueprint. We can go to this, not blueprints, I'm sorry, but to the game components, going to food, and then we got any food, and this is the parent class of any of the item. This is a very basic. So it has some functionality in hand. So first we got the highlighting system. So when it highlights, it's actually set an overlay material, and overlay material is the blueprint only has skeletal mesh, and this skeletal mesh can have an overlay material, and this overlay material is just basic things like this. So it's a surface and translucent material like this. So it's basically creating an outline. So let me show you guys. So this has Unreal 5.0, yeah, I forgot, but we can have overlay material, and we can do overlay highlight. It does not add. If we check this highlighted, it still doesn't get highlighted. I'm sorry, but so if we put this thing, and then we got overlay, it will enable this kind of material. So this is an outline material using, basically it's the classic outline techniques that used in old games. It's basically just first it's extrude the object using tessellation. In here, extrude just one length from the original position, and then using the two-sided sign, it's just flip the face backwards. So the extruded object is only apply and visible from the back side, so it won't cover the front. So if we unplug the opacity, it was like that, and you can see that it's actually just extruding from the original vertex position outside, and then using this basically we just need this actually. If by using this, it cuts in half. But I still need a little bit of highlight in front of the mesh, so I add 0.02 to the front side, so it still got overlay, some kind of overlay in front of the object. And that overlay material got applied when it got picked up, or it was going to be picked up. This thing, it applies the overlay material. Highlighting actually, so let's right here actually highlights an item in front of them, and this is actually doing this on the item level, but let's just put it here. It's okay. I changed my mind and I think we need to put it here. Item functionalities, so item can be highlighted in front of when it's going to be picked up by char, and then item can be picked up by char. I think it's by default item and parent its child. Example, when char carrying one, it will pick up item and attach the item as a child of the bun. When char holding plate, it will, sorry, let's add a comma, it will pick up bun or even item and attach the bun or item as a child of the plate. And that's basically it. Please wait. Basically it. Item can be picked up by char is actually done, because my characters actually already can pick up an item, and item can parent itself technically, yes, but it's not automatically, so it's 50% progress actually. So like this, for example, so I can put a BP item, and then I can put the BP item 4, attach it to 3, and then I duplicate it again and then attach it to 4 like this. But as long as the 4 its simulate physics turned off, it will automatically attach, and my characters can actually search who's the parent and automatically brings and attach the parent to itself, so it's not going to pick up the child. By default, it's just going to be detached, and basically originally my character will only pick up one of these at random point, but I have this thing here, so if I use the input action grab, and this is currently binded to F key, and this grab highlighted item basically just so this function is basically just grabbing, but the highlighting, let's go the event highlighting. My code or my blueprints is basically trying to get its parent first. If it got its parents, and then it will do the highlighting, so it's not going to have the child to be highlighted. And then if my characters doesn't have the item, so I'm going to grab this first, and if the substring still has an item, is because if it's just like this, wait a minute, so using this node is actually going to spit out the parent, but if it doesn't have any parent, it will just going blank. So the get display name will going to be blank, and going blank means false. And then if it's false, it means it doesn't have the parent found, and then it will search directly just the object, get the display name. It doesn't search any of the parent anymore, and it will just do the same thing. Actually, it's like this. And then if my characters goes away, it just removes the highlighting, and it just removes from the highlighted actor variable. And just doing this, it can perfectly grabs any of the parent like this. It will always grab the parent. It was perfect. And I think, yeah, that's basically it. That's the whole planning and the whole progress of how I currently rebuilding the HamsterChef projects. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, since this is a multiplayer game, I currently try to just make sure that everything is going to be replicated. Currently it's not. Turns out you can see that if I attach things, it doesn't get seen. So the goal is every time I work on this feature, every single feature of this should be replicated. And that's it. I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to stop recording, and I will record another one.